Hi beautiful people, it's me, Harinsky. On today's video, we are going to continue how to upcycle jeans. In this project, we are going to make storage bins for your cats and dogs' toys to put inside and to organize them. And we will use a sublimation materials or products in this project to personalize it with their photos. So what are you waiting for? Let's go ahead and let's make it. To prepare the outer and inner fabrics, we need at least 4 pairs of old jeans. Grab your jeans and cut it along the side seam. I chose to cut the one with double stitching, then spread them apart. Then, grab some shorter fabrics and trim them down roughly for your handles later on. You'll see me here, I chose fabrics with the side seam because I want my handles to have structure when finished. Now, lay your fabric down and begin measuring. We will do the medium size storage bin first. Cut it with your desired measurements. I use 15-inch wide by 11-inch tall. Go ahead and grab another piece of fabric and cut it out using the first one as your pattern. Do this with the remaining 2 panels for the lining. Grab a square ruler and a marking pen and measure 3.5-inch square at the bottom edge corner and cut. Do this at the other side and to the 3 remaining panels. Move along, grab the bigger size fabric and begin measuring. This time we will cut 19-inch wide by 14-inch tall for extra large size storage bin. Same cutting method as the medium size. Cut 3 more of the fabrics using the first cut as your pattern. Then again, grab your pen and square ruler and measure 4.5-inch square for both bottom corners and cut. Do this for the remaining 3 panels and set them aside. Next, grab the smaller pieces of fabrics we prepared earlier. Measure it and cut it according to your preference. For the handles, I cut mine as 2 pieces of 7-inch by 3-inch for medium size and 2 pieces of 8-inch by 3-inch for extra large size. Note, if you don't want to make your own handles, you can buy or use 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch wide webbing Could either be cotton or polyester or even a leather if you prefer that way. Then grab your fusible fleece and cut 2 pieces for extra large size bean and another 2 pieces for medium size bean. Now let's check our panels of fabric and materials before we begin sewing. We need 4 panels for extra large size bean, 4 panels for medium size bean, 2 fusible fleece for exterior extra large size bean, 2 fusible fleece for the exterior medium size bean, 2 pieces of fabrics for extra large handles, 2 pieces of fabrics for the medium size handles, 2 packets, this is optional, pins, measuring tape and hem gauge, jean needle size 16, matching thread, a pair of scissors, your designs, and a sublimation coating for 100% cotton like jeans. First and foremost, we need to prepare the surface of our jeans by spraying a generous amount of sublimation coating for the exterior fabrics. Set them aside and let it dry. Let the jeans absorb all the sublimation coating naturally. Moving on to my heat press, lay down the big panel treated with sublimation coating right side up. Place your design facing down and secure it with a heat tape. Then run the heat press with your desired temperature. Mine was set to 395 Fahrenheit for 45 seconds with 150 pounds of pressure. Do this with the other smaller panel treated with sublimation coating. Oops, hold on, what went wrong? Let's pause this one for a minute. I am not happy with the result. Looks like the light color on the right side didn't really show up with the darker fabric. So I went ahead to my cutting machine and cut an offset around my design using Sublimation HTV and heat press it with my desired settings. Now, look at that. Isn't it so cute? I love the way it turned out this time. It popped out all the colors using Sublimation HTV. With the same panels earlier, we will fuse them down with fusible fleece in the wrong side of the fabric and secure it with a heat tape. Again, check your manufacturer's heat setting recommendations for both material and machine before you proceed. Mine works the best at 300° Fahrenheit for 10 seconds with 150 pounds of pressure. Do this with all the remaining exterior panels. Now, the sewing process begins by making the handles first. Grab the 4 pieces of fabric handle, fold in half, secure it with pins, and stitch it with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Do not forget to backstitch before and after sewing to lock the stitches in place. And again, if you don't want to make your own handles, you can buy or use 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch wide webbing, cotton or polyester, or even a leather if you prefer to use that way. And don't forget to trim all your excess threads. Move along, grab the other exterior panel and place the pocket in the middle by securing it with a pin. This is completely an optional, but my sister-in-law wants me to put pocket on each of her bin. We will stitch down the pocket using 3mm stitch length, and we will do the same for the pocket placement for the extra large size bin. Always backstitch before and after your sewing. Next, grab the two exterior panels with two right sides together, pin the bottom edge in place, and stitch it down with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Trim all your excess threads and open up the seam by pressing it down with your fingers. Stitch it down with 1/4 inch seam allowance along both sides of the bottom seam. Clean up your threads and bring the two panels right sides together again, edge to edge, pin in place, and stitch it down with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Trim all the excess threads. Finger press the seams open and align one side seam over the bottom seam and secure it with pins. Stitch it close using 1/2 inch seam allowance. Do the same at the other side seam. Trim all the excess threads and turn right side out. Then grab your hem gauge and pen. Mark 3/4 inch of each side seam to attach the two handles by using pins. Do this to the other side. Base the handles using 1/8 inch seam allowance, stitching back and forth few times for reinforcement. Trim all your threads set aside as we will start sewing the lining. We will do the same process as the exterior fabric. You'll notice in here that I didn't fuse the lining with fusible fleece. Jeans are already thick, but if you plan to use quilting cotton or any lightweight fabrics, then you need to consider fusing it with mid-weight interfacings. Again, this is only my preference. Do whatever makes you happy. Now we are ready to assemble the bin by placing the exterior fabric inside the lining as you see, just like this. Align the side seams and carefully push down the handles inside. Be sure it's not twisted. Secure both fabrics by pinning them all the way around, leaving a 4 to 5 inch gap for turning our fabrics right side out later. Always lock your stitch at the beginning and end of your sewing. Carefully stitch down your bin using 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around, leaving 4 to 5 inches opening. Remember, with those thick layers, you need to go slow so you don't break your needle, especially when you come to stitch the handles. Trim off the excess threads and turn your fabric right sides out. Close the seam by pinning it. Also, fix the lining inside and pin along the top edge to keep the layers neatly lined up. Stitch all the way around using 1/8 inch seam allowance and with 3mm stitch length. Trim off your excess threads and set it aside. Making the extra large size bin is the same process as the medium size bin. I just want to tell you and pay attention to the size of the fusible fleece I use. I cut it down about 1/2 inch all the way around so our sewing machine will not struggle to feed those thick layers of fabrics when we assemble them later. This is just a tip, and you can always do whatever you feel comfortable for your sewing machine. Also, I just wanted to highlight in this extra large size bin storage that we need to measure and mark 1 inch of each side of the side seam for attaching the handles. Stitch all the way around the top edge of the bin using 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and do a second set of stitching 1/4 of an inch away from the first stitch line to close the gap and to have a good finished look. Now you're all set. You have a beautiful storage bins for your favorite pets. I hope I can inspire you again in some way that you can try to make some. This is a beginner-friendly project that requires you to sew 4 pieces of rectangular pieces, so why not try it, right? And that's it. So easy to make a DIY personalized storage bin for your favorite pets using sublimation. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, please leave a comment, and don't forget to turn that notification bell button on so you don't miss any of my incoming new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!